Welcome back, and time now to talk about the mega projects that are being executed and inaugurated day after day. Today, the huge expansion Egypt is taking or witnessing when it comes to the establishment of greenhouses to rationalize the usage of water resources, of course, and also to provide job opportunities for youth. And to shed more light over this issue, we're very delighted to be having with us Professor Ahmad Rashid. He is Director of the Water Management Research Institute and at the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. Good morning, Doctor.
A very good morning to you, Doctor. Please tell us a little bit more about the importance of greenhouses.
Yes, greenhouses is a type of agriculture cultivation which is very condensed practices of agriculture, producing very much quantities of production, of agricultural production on the same area with smaller amounts of water.
Right.
Greenhouses are a protected agriculture production. Protected means that keeping the plants in a good environment. Good environment means that the stable temperature, light, and humidity to sustain the production of vegetables the whole year. This gives some sustainable production, sustainable agriculture production. For example, in cold winters, we can produce the hot summer productions, such as vegetables, some fruits, and some value products, agriculture products, such as tomatoes, cucumber, strawberry, chili pepper, and pepper. This summer production could be cultivated into a modern, advanced, controlled environment of water, heat, and light. Also governing and optimizing the humidity and saving water. When inside the greenhouse, we are putting all these controlled climatic conditions for the plant in order to maintain this environment to stable the production of vegetables. Plants need water, humidity, temperature to grow well. To make it stable, we can get these products the whole year. This is one of the advantages of this greenhouse, is to produce the vegetables, especially vegetables, in the whole years, even in the cold winters. This to supply the markets, the people with their own needs of these vegetables in the whole years, and the rest of this production could be transported to the outside countries, to the cold climate European countries, to get a good income, a high value. For example, the strawberry, the Egyptian strawberry, one of the very famous production. We are exporting such products in the Christmas time, these times, where the European, the North America, and the very far Russia, for example, is very cold. They cannot produce such products. Strawberry, even roses also. Roses is a very famous, Egypt is very famous for production of roses and flowers. So even the cherry tomato, which is the cherry tomato is a very small size of tomato, very good and favorable in the European countries. We are producing these products inside Egypt. So a greenhouse can be planted in all types of soil.
Right.
We can make it in deserts, in old lands, in the Nile Delta, in the Saharas. One of the benefits of these greenhouses is the economic consumption of water.
We're going to touch over the economic consumption of water and all these elements, but again, let's be also taking a comprehensive look about the effects of greenhouses when it comes to not only the consumption of water. That particular system of agriculture, Is it valid for all types of plants, all types of agriculture, or just one type of agriculture? Because there are certain countries who are specialized and have taken a leap in that particular system of agriculture. And what about the quality of the production when it comes to greenhouses? Is it going to compete with the other quality of agriculture? I mean, plants, we as people in the Middle East are very much popular and famous for our organic food. In the West, for example, it's a little bit more different. The quality is less.
Yes.
So
yes, the greenhouses also, you can compare it with the conventional agriculture. This is one of the benefits, one of the very advantages of the production through the greenhouses. The organic agriculture producing crops, let us say crops, more than the vegetables only. We are minimized using any pesticides or fertilizers inside these greenhouses, saving, since we are putting these nutrients soluble in the water, also the no chance to have some insects or diseases inside these greenhouses. So the quality of these products is designed to be more healthy, more safe for the exporting and the inside the internal markets. Also, for the first question about which type of crops we can produce in the greenhouses, actually all types of plants or vegetables, even fruits, could be cultivated inside greenhouse. Greenhouse, it's so many sizes, from only 40 centimeters above the ground up to several meters above the ground. We can put trees inside these greenhouses. We can produce pineapples inside it. We can produce citrus, grapes. We are creating the good environment that can cope these products. Not only the vegetables, we can produce some ornament plants, or some medical production, some medical plants, which is very need for these the pharmacy production. But the question is how much it will be cost. What is the cost? This is a competition between the open agriculture in, for example, in the humid countries. We can create humid weather in Egypt, cultivating these production inside it.
right, if Nancy.
Yes, as we speak, Professor Ahmed and Dina, we're taking a look at we're waiting actually for President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to arrive to inaugurate some of the greenhouses that we were talking about today, and a number of agricultural products. We'll be bringing you that and much more live as we get it. Mr. Ahmed, Professor Ahmed, back to you. If I asked you a little bit about the rationalization of water, also another advantage of these greenhouses. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, this is very important. The main advantage of using greenhouses in Egypt is saving water.
Right.
Sure, Egypt, one of the poorest countries in the world for its budget of water. 95% of our water comes from outside our borders, and 5% only comes from the internal environment, such as rainwater or groundwater. So we are depending on water from outside. The same budget is constant 20 years now ago. So we have such limited amount of water. The share of each person is less than 600 cubic meter a year. So this is the advantage of greenhouse. Greenhouse consumes very little amount of water comparing with the open agriculture or other type of production. Even the drip irrigation or the sprinkler irrigation. I give you an example. 1 kilogram of tomato consumes only 8 liters 8 liters inside the greenhouse, comparing with 35 liters in the open agriculture. So we are saving for 1/4. This is 1/4 or 1/5 of the open agriculture production. So one فدان of greenhouse consumes 1/10 of the open water. So one فدان equals 10 فدans of open agriculture. For example, our mega projects, this is 100,000 فدans. It's equal more than 1 million فدans of open agriculture. So we can use the same amount of water for 10 times the same, 10 times the area of the open agriculture farms.
Right.
This is also the quality of water.
Right.
The quality of water, we can produce products with better quality of water, and even the quality, I speak about salinity. If the salinity is a little bit more, we have some places in Egypt that we have a brackish water. We can use such brackish water also in production. Not all the crops need fresh water. Many agriculture production can survive or can be produced using brackish water, a little bit higher salinity. Brackish water means that the salinity, the fresh water salinity is in a range of 300 to 500 parts per million salts. But the brackish water starts from more than 1,000 parts per million salts. So some plants, good plants, can be produced with this brackish water. So we can put these greenhouses in the places where the water is a little bit not be suitable for this other production. So we can use the greenhouses in the areas where the water is a little bit not suitable for other fresh production.
Right. Dr. Rashad, also when we talk about greenhouses, we could also find out its usage in rooting out the gap or bridging the gap between the production and the consumption, and providing the required needs of the market, and also rooting out the problems of prices, the hike in prices, and also a modification of some types of fruits and plants into a totally new types. So when will be Egypt be able to effect these results?
Actually, we are on the right way now. We are producing, we are using the greenhouses since 20 years or more than 20 years now, but we are in a very intensive use of these greenhouses these 2 to 3 years now, and in the coming 4 years now. We are walking into two directions, the internal market and the outside market. The exporting and in the internal market we have to close these gaps. As I said before, one faddan of greenhouse can produce 10 times the production of one faddan in an open water. So one faddan in greenhouse equals 10 faddans of open agriculture. So changing from open agriculture production into greenhouse production can double the production. Agriculture, the vegetables, especially the vegetable production of high value, like tomato, cucumber, peppers, which will close the gap in the inside market also, and will have a good quantity of production that could be exported to the outer countries like the Arabian Peninsula, the European Union, and even to China. We are exporting citrus and good quality crops to China, Russia, like potatoes and citrus, oranges, and olives, some good quality of strawberry and tomatoes. The prices also is competitive. We are cheaper than the other competitive countries, exporting countries surrounding Egypt, and even in the Southeastern Asia. So we have the advantage to get more currency, more foreign currency, and also to close the gap inside the market, and to have we are searching for other way or far markets for this export.
Right, and something I think that's also pivotal and incorporates the President's vision is creating jobs for youth. How will these greenhouses and these new projects, but particularly these greenhouses, create more jobs?
Yes, so many disciplines are working in such industry. I will call it industry. The greenhouse production is an industry. So we have agriculture engineers, we have technicians working inside these greenhouses, we have educated and middle educated farmers. We have some markets with some solar panels which can be condensed with these greenhouses to create some power instead of using the fossil sources of energy. Also, we have pharmacy, we have biologists, some people working in the insecticides and the pesticides production, the water quality science, our work in the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation, how to find out the sites of good quality of the little bit low quality of water we can be used in such greenhouses. Also, we have environmental scientists, environmental people are working about the climate, measuring the differences in temperature, humidity, air speed, wind speed. This is very efficient thing and very essential thing to production of the greenhouses. Also, the marketing, the production. How can we put these products into the market? Local marketing and outside marketing, transportation, inside the country and outside. We are dealing with fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, which need very quick transportation, a very good packing also, how to make this product in a good shape and in a good quality, because you are buying with your eyes. You have to select the good quality with your eyes first, then you go and take it. So we have to make it very clear, very net, in a good shape and a good packaging. So many disciplines are working in this.
And also talking about moving to another level, which is the economic sustainable development. How it's going to boost and empower our economy when we have sufficient production of different types of plants and fruits and good quality, so that we can export our production to other countries and have that particular brand amongst the top-notch countries who produce good quality. This is going to be also another level of...
Yes, yeah. This is a competition thing. We have to hurry up beyond them, and we have to be in front of those, because we are in a market. A market means that the better quality will be exported to the consumer. So changing our mentality, changing our specifications, using the good quality production, the net, the very clean production of products, making investigation, making analysis for the water, the soil, the plant, searching about the insects, stopping using the fertilizers with the chemical fertilizer, changing it into organic production. Also not using the herbicides or any chemicals, trying to use biological treatment. Biological treatment means that not using any chemicals in protecting our products. The world are looking for such products. This is a competition. The other competition is how to make it with low prices. How to make it, we have this advantage in Egypt. The labor power, the labor prices are smaller, cheaper. So we have this advantage. We can produce 1 kilogram of tomato in only 1/3 or 1/4 the prices in the other one of those countries surrounding Egypt. So this is the advantage, the quality, how to make the product very healthy, how can we make it, how can make our advertising and making some propaganda or marketing in a good way. Even the climate in Egypt make the production more sweety, especially in the cucumber or the tomatoes. Check the tastes of our production inside when you travel outside, and you will find the tasty food is come from Egypt.
Definitely. I also wanted to ask you a little bit more, or a more scientific question, because we know that climate change has made it almost imperative that greenhouses exist. Tell us a little bit more about how climate change has influenced the creation of greenhouses.
Yes, the climate change, the greenhouse, we are mixing something with the greenhouse effect and the greenhouse production. Right. The greenhouse effect is increasing the concentration of the carbon dioxide, the CO2, which comes from the urbanization, the more production, the more factories and the chimneys are all about the production of cement, fertilizers, steel production. But in the greenhouse itself, we are controlling all the climate conditions. We are protecting the environment, keeping the environment from increasing any especially the carbon dioxide. Inside the greenhouse, we are controlling the temperature, the light, the humidity, and even the concentration of the carbon dioxide generated from these greenhouses. We can change this carbon dioxide into a good quality production, not harming the environment, not harming the climate. So the greenhouse effect, not from the agriculture production inside the greenhouse itself, it's from the other types of urbanization. So this is an advantage also of these greenhouses.
But also when we talk about greenhouses, is it the same? I mean, the environment is same like the good old-fashioned way when it comes to farming and the people in the villages, because it might be something new to farmers and they might not be in full acquaintance with the whole process. I mean, did it cross the mind of people who are taking that step? It has been going for a long time here in Egypt, of course, but how is it with the community of the farmers and the old ways, the old-fashioned ways of agriculture?
Yes, in the ancient, the greenhouse comes from the old-fashioned agriculture, the open agriculture, and slowly, step by step, they are improving itself. They are modernized through science. So
I mean, in other words, the reason I'm asking that question is that is it going to be also only applied by the government officials or by the farmers and in the community of farmers themselves?
Yeah, sure. The farmers should continue the activities of the government, but usually the government starting the thing and the farmers are following these activities. Our Egyptian farmer is a very smart man, a very smart one.
Sure.
He is looking, he is get jealous from this success story and try to imitate it, try to apply it inside his home, inside his old farm. He discovered that it is, the income is much better, the quality is good, so he go ahead and either to take these greenhouses or make it by himself. Also, as he is smart, the greenhouses are being smarted now. Smarted means taking all the new technology inside it, controlling all the incomes, all the something which the plant needs, the temperature, the power itself. We can make it smart by using the sunlight for the solar, making solar cells and generating some energy, some electricity to help inside these greenhouses. The simple farmer change itself directly. He can optimize himself by using these very recent technology. For example, these solar cells. In 1 day or 2 days, he can use these solar cells and link it into his old-fashioned greenhouse and can generate electricity directly and use it as a pumping or decreasing the temperature, right, or controlling this production.
Right. In Europe, when you're in Europe and I guess abroad in general, there's no such thing as seasonal crops. You find corn, potatoes, cucumbers, carrots all year round. So how important will these greenhouses be able to bring us up to par with the rest of the world, if you will?
You're speaking about the world.
About the European Union, because, yes, when you look at when you look at the market, you're really looking at the West. You're looking at the European Union and so on and so forth. Having greenhouses and being able to produce crops all year round that are no longer seasonal must be a great advantage.
Yeah, this is a good. This is the advantage of Egypt on the greenhouses in Egypt. We are studying the market needs, the European Union market needs. So they need vegetables in such season, especially you know that they have 6 months cold weather. They have only one production, one crop a year. But in Egypt we can produce 3 to 5 crops a year. Right. And inside this greenhouse we can have 6 to 7 crops a year. Every 2 months, every 2.5 months we can have another production. And we can have two crops on the same area in the same time. We can have cucumber and tomato on the same 1 square meters.
Right.
So studying the needs, how much they want, when they need. They prefer flowers in Christmas times. They prefer strawberry in Christmas times. In December, January, they prefer red flowers in the beginning of spring. So studying the needs of the European countries and the cold weather countries, the Egyptian greenhouse can supplement or supply these needs to European countries. So with a good price also and in the right time.
It's Dr. or Professor Mr. Ahmed Rashid. You are a director of the Water Management Research Institute at the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. We'd like to thank you, sir, very much. And I guess Nancy, we come to the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show. I was in the company of Nancy Sarah Barakat, and my name is Dina Hussein. But of course, you stay tuned to us, because in a few moments we're going to be now the president have arrived to inaugurate almost 100,000 fedans of greenhouses that produce